Hey guys, I'm Kristen Richardson, and my country was on Mexico. So my initial question was, how do the drug cartels affect Mexico's political and economic stability? I always knew that it was really dangerous there. There was a lot of crime, a lot of drugs, but I have nothing to relate that to, so I don't know what that meant. After doing some research, I was able to form a thesis that the drug cartels indeed do affect Mexico's economic and political stability. There's a huge drug war that has been going on in Mexico for decades. Back in the day, we're talking like early 1900s, the party of the institutionalized revolution ruled Mexico and basically constructed governability. With that in mind, they also set a bunch of these secret unwritten rules that basically allow the drug cartels to do whatever they want and exploit Mexico's resources. About 2000 as an estimate, really we're talking 1980s, 1970s, there were so many political mistakes and so much economic deterioration that that party, the party of the revolution, or the institutionalized revolution, was like, oh crap, we need to move towards political reform. Well, you can't just give someone freedom and then tell them they have none. It doesn't work that way. So obviously you can kind of see where this goes. The cartels were not okay with anything that would affect their business, drug trafficking. They weren't okay with not being able to profit. So they fought back. They were not happy. So with all that said, crime and violence went up. This caused the military and government to spend a lot of money on trying to fight the cartels, which one, never worked, and two, just made their economic deterioration turn into a crisis. In 2006, Mexico voted in Felipe Calderon as their president. He was all about fighting the cartels. However, with his fight came even more violence. To look at this all in perspective, the death rate due to the drug war started at an estimated 1,500 Mexican citizens. It stayed about the same until 2006. In 2006, when Felipe Calderon became president, it skyrocketed. In 2010, it was 15,000 Mexican citizens dead due to the drug war. That's insane, just because of this president. Then an estimated 20,000 deaths hit in 2012 and up. So, unfortunately, Calderon took the wrong approach to fighting the cartels. He had good motives, but he just wanted to attack, and obviously that didn't do anything. So in 2012, Mexico voted in a new president, Peña Nieto, and at the time, he proposed crime reduction strategies that are, far from just attacking the cartels. His goal was to reduce violence as a whole through Mexico and improve citizen safety, which is really what Mexico needed to get back on its feet. Lately Mexico has been doing better, but they still have a long way to go. So, I personally feel that they need to work on judicial and labor market reform. The labor market right now is at an all-time high of 5%. So 5% of all Mexico's citizens are unemployed. So if they focus on creating more jobs and allowing people to have the opportunity to move from these cartels and move from gangs and move from drug organizations and move towards careers, jobs, giving them an opportunity just to do something other than making lots of money from drugs and, being illegal, it's going to help. And they can, start pushing towards judicial reform, focus on people's rights and really just bring everything back together. So what did I learn from engaging in this research process? I think that a lot of students make research papers sound so much more dreadful than they really are. I really liked that we could pick any subject we wanted based on the country we had. I think being able to choose something you want to discuss and that is interesting to you really helps the research project move along a lot better. I found that finding all of my sources first and writing an abstract first made the research so much easier. I knew what I wanted to find, and once I had the sources, putting it all together was a breeze. I've never written an abstract before. This is seriously the first class I've ever done that at, and I usually just kind of go on the internet, I look through the pages, write down some stuff, write down the source, and go to the next one. I've always written my papers that way. I've never done what we did this time before, so it was really beneficial, and I'm absolutely doing that for every paper I write from now on. I also highly recommend doing an outline, even though it's not asked of you. I wrote an outline to kind of help myself get prepared for writing this paper, and it helps so much. If you don't write an outline, then you don't understand. You need to do it. You need to try it at least once. It takes like 30 minutes tops, and that includes making bullets and highlighting text and making it, look nice and stuff. So I highly recommend doing it. You can have a thesis and know a topic you'll be speaking about, but have no idea where you're going to go. If you do an outline of like, hey, here's my intro, here's my abstract, my intro, here's the main points I want to talk about, conclusion, sources, boom, you're done. Then you can just go in and fill in the blanks, and you have a rough draft. It's so much easier than being like Mexico and just staring at your paper for an hour and still only having Mexico. Because I know you've all done that before. I've done that before, and it's not, doesn't get you anywhere. So write an outline. It's awesome. At the end of all of this, one, I hope you write an outline, because outlines really do help and they're awesome. But besides that, I hope that you take how hard Mexico has struggled from the mistakes they made in their past. I think it's important, as I always say in my discussions prior to this, that we need to look at our past to make sure that we do not make the same mistakes in the future. That's it's true. It's extremely important. Just the other day at a meeting at work, someone said this quote to me, so I'm going to quote her, and I'm going to leave you guys with this. So do not dwell on the past or focus on the present, because the future is what will make a difference. Thanks, guys.